If you or your parents are eligible for Medicare, time is running out to choose that plan for 2023.
Open enrollment ends tomorrow. By now, you've probably seen a barrage of ads trying to sell one of the many coverage options that are out there. So how can you figure out which plan is best for somebody that you love or yourself? Let's bring in Danielle Roberts. She's a founding partner at Boomer Benefits. Danielle, thanks for being here. So what's the biggest mistake that people make when they're researching these type of Medicare plans?
Well, the biggest mistake that most people make is underestimating what an important task that it is, and they don't start early enough. All your life, you have employer plans that are given to you. You might have one or two choices on those plans. But when you come into Medicare, you have literally 10 different Medigap options, thousands of Part D drug plans and Advantage plans. And this is the most important insurance that you may ever buy. So it's not a decision to be made lightly. You need to start your research early and make your decision carefully.
Well, important because, of course, as you age, you definitely use it more, I assume. But can you walk us through the differences between, say, a Medicare Advantage and a Medicare Supplement plan?
Yes, and that's one of the most important decisions that a new Medicare beneficiary will face because you can get your Medicare one of two ways. You can stay with original Medicare and you can add on a Medicare supplement, also called a Medigap plan. And this type of coverage gives you the widest freedom of access. You have access to over 1 million providers in the nation that accept Medicare. You don't have to choose a primary care doctor. You don't have to get a referral when you see a specialist. You're going to pay more for that kind of coverage up front, but you have a lower cost sharing and more predictable cost sharing on the back end. The other option is Medicare Advantage, which works differently. These plans are private insurance plans where you will get those Medicare Part A, B, and sometimes D benefits through a private insurance company that operates a network in your area. This may be an HMO or a PPO. So you're going to have a smaller pool of providers. These plans also get paid by Medicare to bring you on as a member. So they will offer very low and attractive premiums up front, but you're going to pay for services as you go along. And so you want to know what those services are, what they're going to cost you. And very importantly, you need to make sure that your doctors are in the network and that the drugs you take are on the formulary before choosing that route. So an important decision and two really different types of coverage. You need some time to think about what works best for you and your needs and your budget.
Yeah. Now, we know that Medicare is usually given to people who are 65 or older, but it also affects people who are on disability and have some other considerations. So when everybody's watching those Medicare commercials, what are some of the red flags that people should look out for if they're worried about picking the right thing and potentially getting scammed?
Or the phone calls. My gosh, a lot of those come in.
Yes, and you should never give any personal information out to anyone that initiates a phone call to you. If someone calls and says that they are calling from Medicare or Social Security or even directly from an insurance carrier, you should be suspicious of that and never give out any personal information because those scams really do happen and there's something important to look out for.
Danielle Roberts, thank you for walking us through it.
You bet.